Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another video. So this is not gonna be an anime review. This is not gonna be an unboxing. This is not gonna be showing you any new merch or anything like that or anything I got recently. It's more so just a kind of video. As the title says, it's gonna be me talking about something that I don't really share too often with a lot of people. And I think I've kind of briefly talked about it on this channel before in the past. You know, when I was younger, I want to say I talked about it a little bit, but I never really got into the kind of nitty gritty of it. So I do want to talk to you guys about this, and it's more so because people bring it up occasionally at work, and it makes me kind of crack up when it happens because only a few people understand it, and I would love to talk about it. And maybe some people that actually have this same thing that I have will, I guess, understand it a little more and probably maybe feel like they're not so alone when it comes to this. But also, it's been a while. I'm sorry I haven't done a video in one time. Unless you guys know, when you do YouTube full-time or full-time career of YouTube, you can do videos every day. When you have a job and you have other responsibilities and you have a life outside of YouTube, you kind of can't do that, unfortunately. So, yeah. Anyways, let's just skip past that. I always want to say I'm going to do some more videos, but you know what? They come out frequently. I'm just glad when a few people watch it. I'm happy that some of you guys enjoy it. And that's how it is. Anyways, so the question I got asked at work, it was kind of funny, was why do I own so many headphones and earbuds? And people, I've had this asked over the years, maybe a good dozen times. I have a lot of headphones. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna show you all of them. I have like these Naruto ones. I love these things, by the way. They're really nice. I think they were, what was it? They were HyperX, I believe. They were a thing with them. I have my regular Logitech headphones, which are somewhere, which I can't find them right now. And I have just a slew of headphones. Like, honestly, it's actually, oh, they're right there, actually. So you see. These are my regular ones. These are the ones I use like when I'm playing games and stuff like that. But I own a lot of headphones. Even a watch. If you guys know, this is a Huawei smartwatch. It actually has the earbuds inside. These things are actually pretty good, by the way. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's not." These are actually really good. They're noise canceling. They're pretty good. Got good sound to them, etc. And they're inside my watch, which is even better. So I can walk around with these at work and not, I'm not using them obviously at work, but if I forgot like my own headphones or my earbuds or anything like that, I can use these if I have to. But people ask, why do you have so many? Because I at least often, I mean, I have some, even my jacket. This jacket, I think I have a pair somewhere in here, which is, I didn't charge it up, unfortunately. Also, I had a straw in there, which is weird. These are my Evangelion bone conductor headphones. I have those. Oh, what the heck was the plastic in my pocket? Anyways, moving aside with that. Yeah, I own a lot of headphones and earbuds. I own maybe a good like. I want to say 30 or 40, it seems like. And they're scattered around. I have some over there. I have some behind me somewhere. I probably have some you probably see on the shelf. I have a lot. And they're not, by the way, they're not really super expensive. Most of the headphones I got, I think this is, the one on my watch is the most expensive. I think that was like $400. The rest usually about like $70, $80. Sometimes they're like 20, 15. One of them I got for free, etc. I have a lot. The reason being is I like to listen to music and to tune out the world a little bit, especially when I'm at work or when I'm like on break and when I'm by myself or if I'm not talking to people. Reason being is, if you guys don't know, or if you have no idea about this about me, I'm what's called an empath. Now, if you play games like Life is Strange, True Colors, you know what empaths are to some degree. I don't want to say it's a best representation of empaths, but it's a good representation of empaths because there's a lot of other ones that make it sound like we have like psychic powers, like I could see into the future, or I know everything that's going to happen, or I could read people's minds. I can't do that. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't want that. But empaths come in different shapes and forms. So there are about like I want to say a good couple dozen types of empaths. There are the spiritual empaths. There are the emotional empaths, which is what I'm, an emotional empath. There are people that have dreams, and we consider like dream empaths. And they come in all shapes and sizes and all shapes and varieties. I've met some that are female. I've met some empaths that are girls. I've met some empaths that are guys. I've met empaths of all walks of life. Now, us empaths, we don't really like to share with a lot of people because empaths is still a thing that really is not 100% known to the world. It's starting to get, I think, more popular as time goes by. More people are starting to be aware of this thing. But even then, it's still a lot of people think it's like a lot of, BS, or they think it's not a real thing. So, in case you guys don't know what an empath is and you don't want to Google search it and you want, like, Aaron, you should describe what an empath is, I'll describe what my type of empath is. So, as an emotional, by the way, I apologize, the neighbor's dog's barking, if you hear that in the background. So, I'm an emotional empath. As an emotional empath, it means that I read off emotions around people. Now, besides how it sounds, I wish it was simpler than it sounds. Emotional empaths like myself, when we feel things in terms of energy and force. So I can go into a room with people and I can immediately start feeling what things off people. So I can go like, okay, this person is this way, this person's that way, this person's happy, this person's sad, this person's miserable, this person's angry, this person's jealous, and I can feel those emotions of people like that. It's actually really quick. And that's why I'm a good judge of character. It's like why the job I have actually works pretty well with it, because I can kind of gauge people. Now, don't get me wrong, people can hide their emotions to some degree from me. Even me, they can hide it. Like there's some people that will go and say, oh, they'll be a certain way, and then I won't be able to tell what they are if they're really good at it. I'll be honest with you, in my 34 years of existence, I've only met a few people that can hide their emotions pretty well. And usually those are people that are kind of terrifying because they are scary people. When you can hide your emotions and hide them well, or kind of fool other people to believing something, it takes an art that I don't think anyone should have. It's something that if you really can do that, it means you're lying to yourself constantly and also lying to everyone else around you at the same time. But as an emotional empath, people go, oh, it's a superpower, or it's a special ability. I don't think it's a superpower. I don't think it's a curse. I don't think it's a per se blessing either. Because if you meet other empaths, which there are plenty, like I said, there are people out there. They just don't like usually sharing with people. I'm sharing with you guys because I know it's something I don't really mind telling people when they ask me. And I've had to convince other people that I'm one. And when I do, it's kind of funny because they're like, oh my God, you really are one, or whatever. I'm not trying to do that. It's more so like, I don't really care if you believe it or not. Like anyone watching this video, if you guys believe I have this ability, hey, I appreciate it. Thank you. If you're someone who understands this ability, hey, you can feel free to comment. So let me know what type of empathy you are and some of the experiences you've had, because I would love to hear it from you guys. If you don't believe it, it's perfectly fine. It's understandable. It's not something that's, done with a lot of science behind it still. It's a lot of people go, it's the equivalent of like psychics. They think that like, what's the best way I can put it? That this is a thing that you can either do by reading people well, or what. Really, I've never trained myself to read people well. It's more so I just can do it, if that makes any sense. Like someone can walk up to me in the middle of the street and I can immediately feel if they are a certain way about them. I've met people where I work where they are very depressed, and I will go up to them and go, hey, you okay? And they'll just unleash their story because they didn't think anyone saw what they're going through. And sometimes it's not even like, it's not cues on a person's face, like, oh, you see someone crying or someone upset, or mostly, sometimes they can look like they're happy and be super chipper, and then you just walk past them. As an empath, I feel it, like it's an aura around them that I can actually see and feel of someone. The seeing thing, though, it's a little hard to describe. I'm not going to get into it because it's a whole different realm of things. And it's whenever I explain it to people, they think it's like, again, they think of it like, perfect example, Life is Strange, True Colors. There's a reason why I love that game. It also sometimes why I'm like, it captures to some degree what an empath is. But again, empaths come in different forms and different sizes and varieties. So realistically, maybe someone does see people like that in colors. I see people in the same sense in some ways, but not like that. It's a little more complex. But as an empath, it lets me kind of tone into people around me. Now, as I was saying before, it's not a blessing or curse per se, because the double-edged sword to it is that I can't always control what I'm toning, like I'm taking into me. So, for example, I can go to an area with a lot of negative energy, and that will hit me like a force, and I can't really stop it from happening. It just hits me, and I'll know that something happened in this area. Like you cannot tell me anything about it. I will walk to a spot and be like, something horrible happened here, and then they might not be. They'll be like, oh, you didn't hear about what happened. I'm like, no, I didn't. I don't know what this area is. And lo and behold, it'd be someone got hurt, someone got killed, possibly a whole bunch of people died in this area. I've experienced this in graveyards. I've experienced this in cemeteries. I've experienced this in places where bad things have happened to people before, bad neighborhoods, etc. I'll typically feel something, and again, it comes with that territory where I can't control what enters that into my spirit. Also, like if someone has extreme amount of emotion, where this is, it could be happy or it could be sad or miserable, whatever. I have to be very careful because my abilities will also make it so I'm like a kind of leech to that, where I will take that from them into me. And it's not so bad if they're happy, because if they're happy, they'll still stay happy, and I'll take that into me too. I'll be happy as well. But if they're miserable, I will take most of their miserable essence and take that to me, and then they will become happy while I'm just now feeling just utter despair and sadness, because I'm like, oh God, I feel it. And I've had it happen. Like there was a time at work where I won't get into the nitty gritty of it, but there was an incident where I was talking to someone who had a bad incident happen outside of work, and maybe like 1 minute after talking to them, they started crying and started getting really upset, and I felt so bad for them that I started tuning into it a little bit. And the thing is as an empath, I've learned how to control how much I kind of take from people per se. I can kind of mitigate, like someone comes up to me, I can kind of not take all their energy from them. I can kind of low key cut it off to some degree. That's years of practicing that, because it's like there's no course online that tells you how to do that. Like there's things that people have talked about where they say, oh, they think of other things, or they kind of like try to zone people out. I'll tell you why. That it kind of goes, by the way, head to head with the headphone thing. I'll explain in a second. But with this person, I felt so bad for them that I let their emotion kind of go into me, and they went from being miserable, crying, to super happy. Meanwhile, I got sick. I actually got really sick. Everyone on where I was working got up to me and went, "Aaron, you okay? You know, do you need a convenience?" I'm like, "Yeah, I needed to go to the bathroom," because I just started crying miserably, and I almost went to the ground. I felt that sick. So it comes with its cost, you know. Now, the reason going again why I have headphones with me all the time, earbuds, is because that has been a way of me cutting off the sounds from people and their energy from them, because it lets me focus on something. So it's not me being rude, because there are times where I always feel bad. I'm someone who I'll walk around leaving my job or going to my job, whatever, and I'll have my headphones on or earbuds on, and people will be approaching me to ask me a question or ask me directions for something, and I won't always hear it. Sometimes because I'll have noise canceling on, or I'll have something on, or I'm not paying attention. I'm just listening to music. And it's not me being rude or me like not wanting to help them. I actually do like helping people, but you know, there are times where that happens, but it's because otherwise I will zone into it. And I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone now because I got messages on it all of a sudden out of nowhere. But as I'm continuing on with this, I have these things where I keep getting I missed call. Anyways, sorry, that was that distraction. I will get these things where I need to have headphones on or earbuds, because it helps me calm my soul and avoid taking in too much of there from and I'm not a good editor, so you can just see me like all of a sudden just turn back on. I actually lost my train of thought because someone made a phone call really fast. But yeah, I'll have to listen to the music and sound effects from my headphones, because it keeps me kind of grounded in a reality of not having to absorb everything around me. So it's still like I'm still collecting the information around me, if that makes sense. Like I'm still feeling the energies around me. I'm still sensing what people are around me, but the music in my head, like in my head, and hearing it in my earbuds or whatever, helps me kind of mitigate how much I'm taking. So it's like, think of it as a kind of blocker. So instead of you know, like perfect example, like you have a leak in a boat. You can't stop the leak, unfortunately. You know, if you don't have anything there to stop it, you can probably put your hand on it, and it's still gonna have water coming through it, obviously, but it will have a little bit less because you're blocking it to some degree. That's kind of me with headphones and earbuds. So I do not like going to work without earbuds. I don't like going to a lot of places. Like, it's okay if I go to like stores and stuff like that. I'm like I'm unable to exist without headphones. I can go to plenty of places. I can go through the mall. I can go to a movie theater. I can go all these places with a lot of people. I can go to crowds. I can go to Disney World, etc., etc. I don't have to worry about having headphones. I don't need to have them. But in certain places that I go to, for example, my job and a few other places I go to, I like to have headphones on me, because honestly, they are a good way for me to kind of just stop the flow of energy from people by having me focus not on the energy, but focusing on sound. And when I focus on the sound, when I'm listening to music, when I'm listening to audio, podcasts, etc., it helps me not take in all this, the kind of override from everything, because it would be overwhelming. That's the best way I can put it. It would really be kind of crippling sometimes. Case in point, I want to say maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, I would say having a rough day, but I was having a pretty tough day, and I forgot my headphones at home. And worst case was that I had to go home, and I have to walk from where I work. I have to walk a decent amount of way to get to where my car is and all that. And I passed a lot of people in the process. So I passed a lot of people, and I don't know, maybe it was just everyone's day too was not going that good. Maybe it was a full moon out. I cannot tell you what it was, but I was getting crushed by people's emotions around me. It was bad. That I got home, I wasn't even tired that day, and then when I got home, I actually passed out. Like I just went right to sleep, and I was wide awake. Mind you, that was actually a day that I wasn't too busy. I was actually in a pretty good mood for the most part, and just because of what happened or whatever was happening around me, conked out. You know, it was really bad that way. And that does happen. Even in college, even in high school, I used to have that same issue because, and it was worse. I'll put it this way: as an adult now, it's easier for me to kind of control even if I don't have headphones. I can kind of go into my own zone where I'm still paying attention to everything around me and not kind of zoning out completely. But I'm at the same time also kind of controlling what I'm taking in from people. So I'm like, I see a person over there, and I won't be taking the whole energy from them. I'll be taking just maybe a little bit just to kind of see if they are a threat or not. But I won't do it even intentionally. Like I'm just doing that just because that's kind of how it's going to happen. And a true empath will tell you that it's not where you can 100% like I would say negate everything that comes off of someone. Unfortunately, it just happens. It's just a tidal wave of energy that comes off people, and you can only do so much to happen. Like with the boat thing, blocking that out. So I really do like headphones. I've always liked headphones because, like, again, in high school, college, I was even worse when it came to kind of controlling it. I had unfortunately no control over a lot of those abilities that I had. And it was tough because a lot of times I would meet like so many people, run into a lot of people, and again, as someone who likes, I actually do like I said, to help people. It comes off this thing where you start feeling everything off someone, and you want to help everyone, and you want to protect everyone because you feel their emotions going through, or you want to kind of worry about something that might be not even something you should be worried about, but because you sense it off someone. It's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, if you guys never knew, that's what I am. I'm an empath. Again, emotional empath. Like I said, I have friends of mine that are also similar to me. They have different powers. I have people that are more like spiritual empaths. I have people that are dream empaths. I actually know one of my friends that she's a good friend of mine. She has dreams, and that they kind of, I don't want to say predict the future. It's not like that. More so, her dreams will kind of link to what will happen, if that makes sense. So she'll have a dream about something, like maybe it seems like a kind of a hodgepodge of things together, but it's grounded in some reality of something to happen. And it will happen, but it won't be exactly as that dream put it. It's more so like bits and pieces will be reality of the dream, and the rest of it will be just complete nonsense. And she tells me that's hard because I can only imagine having that. It's like it's like the future to some degree of something that's going to happen. You can't control it, and also you can't fully understand it because you don't have the full picture. It's like getting a puzzle piece for a 100-piece puzzle. One puzzle piece is not going to tell you what the whole image is. Maybe you'll get lucky, you'll get a middle piece and be like, oh, that's an eye, so it must be a picture of a person's face. Or maybe you get a corner and you're like, I don't know what this is. Maybe it's a picture of like a garden or something like that. It's tough. So if you guys want to talk more about empath stuff, if you guys need advice on empath stuff, I would love to do a whole advice corner. I'm kind of debating it already. So even if I don't get a lot of feedback to do one, I'm kind of tempted to do empath like vice corner thing, and I might do it eventually. I might even do it now. I don't know to think about it because I've always kind of wanted the idea of talking about my experiences as an empath in more of a grandiose scale. Like right now, I'm just talking about the kind of just simple stuff. More so because I just want to talk to you guys. It's been a long time, and I want to kind of put a video out there for you guys to watch. But anyways, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, leave in the comments below if you want me to talk more about what being an empath is now that my job, because I can't talk about that. If you guys want to talk about your own experiences as being an empath, maybe you have special abilities yourself and you want to share with me. If you're worried about sharing in the comments, you can always DM me on X, aka Twitter, or you can always message me on YouTube in the comments and tell me you want to discuss more about that. I will try to get my best to try to talk to you. Guys, as always, God bless you all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Till I pass girls again in the next one. Bye-bye, everyone.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb.